been away for a very long time. It's just that now my youth now, what they're doing is they're going to union, they're working, so the time is clashing. But thank you guys for actually still supporting me and sending me emails and asking me when I'm back. So I'm coming back again, and I've still got my young lady, Isabel, and today we're going to talk about the beauty and the essence of being African in the Black History Month. So Isabel, hello.
Hello.
Introduce yourself again. Yes.
Hello, I'm Isabel. I've been on this show like twice, I think.
Yes.
I'm 19. I go to Birmingham City University, currently studying business management, and yeah.
Yeah, your voice sounds very shy, but
Does it? No,
yeah,
I think my voice is just
oh,
low.
okay. Yeah, the reason why we're running late today was we had another counterpart, but she got held up because of work. So now we're going to start. One of the things that I always say that we have to thank Omega TV, my producer Joe and Sadanswa, for giving us this platform, because without them, you guys wouldn't have a voice. So today, because of the Black History Month, one of the things that I'm going to ask you, because when we come, you're asking me what are the qualities. Mm-hmm. So I was saying that what are the qualities that you've seen growing up as a Black African and as a young lady? What have you seen incorporated in your life?
Well, in the Black community, what the qualities that I've seen amongst the people that I know, stuff like strength, thinking smart, adapting. Because most of us,
or like your heritage, like your parents,
came from somewhere else.
Exactly.
So they've had to adjust and settle, and I feel like that takes
strength,
the biggest strength,
exactly,
of all. Because just moving to another city is hard enough, and then another country to then start a new life. I think that's one thing that I would take. I don't know what to call that kind of quality,
but that quality is strength, and it's more of being able to assimilate yourself in a different culture and to be able to adapt precisely. And so when you look at your parents and you look at your family members, what do you see?
From my parents, I see strength, very humble people, work hard and also work smart.
Okay.
I think those are the key qualities that I would take from my parents. Yeah.
Okay. So today the show is going to be proper brief because today we've taken too much of the time. One of the things that I normally ask is, like during the Black History, I always want to ask people that who are the people that you aspire to. But now that's not one of the things that I want to ask. What I want to ask is, how would you describe the beauty of Africa, especially coming from Ghana? How would you sort of like describe that?
Okay, so my perception of the beauty of Africa has kind of developed over the years. So it's definitely changed from certain ages. I've learned and developed more information about my culture, my country, and what it's actually like. Mm-hmm. So I would say from the start, like from primary school, I didn't know that much. Obviously, how can you know that much? You're small, but I never really knew my culture fully. Like I was always kind of on the outskirts of it. Then when I got to secondary school, because of school, it wasn't cool to be African or like even being Black. Yes. Even though racism has like stopped, well, it hasn't stopped, but has decreased in its amount. Yes. We did feel quite heavy impacts of racism in different ways. So whether it's not through name calling or whether it being beaten, it would be something like diminishing our hair texture, or like making us feel almost how
inferior.
We felt, almost making us feel inferior, almost kind of relating back to them being the greater power, and that kind of stood in everything that we did in school as Black people in general, period. And so I think during that time I was kind of not really fully willing to say I'm Ghanaian, I'm African, like, but etc. So then moving on to, I would say, just after like first year, sixth form. Yes. I think that's when I grew older and developed a greater understanding of Black culture and of my own culture, because I feel like I kind of learned and developed more knowledge, because in school, in secondary school, the heritage that they teach us, especially in Ghana, I remember in history, what they teach us is how Ghana is so underdeveloped and there's a lot of poverty, and they kind of made it seem like it was just sad all the time and mellow and dirty. So like, obviously, how can you be proud of a place? So I feel like when I grew up, that's when I started to think, okay, let me like actually look into my culture. I became interested in just something like not being able to speak would frustrate me, because it was like, I really wish I could speak now, and I wish that was forced upon me.
Okay.
So I would say that throughout the years, the way I perceived my culture and black culture has definitely developed, whereas now I have a greater understanding of what it is to be black, and
what is to be African, as with Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes do you feel as parents we've not really done a good job trying to bring that aspect of it for you to be proud of it?
Do you know what? This is like, I always have like a debate with my mom saying, why didn't you teach me? Why didn't you teach me? But then I have to remember that you guys were actually, you moved from a whole new country. So as much as we wanted to learn our culture, we weren't in that country, and you guys were adjusting and trying to live life in this country. So I feel like being able to enforce our full culture on us would be very difficult, because on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to school in this country. But I do feel like certain things could have been helped. For example, when I come home, my mom's speaking true to me, not English. That would have helped me to pick up the language, or even teaching me certain stuff that I don't know about, or making it very obvious that certain things in our culture are very important.
Okay.
I feel like that could have developed how I would
you understood and appreciated the culture.
Our culture. But I do understand that we're living in a different country and it's a different culture. So being able to enforce one more than the other is heavy, because we're living in both.
Actually, I don't agree with you on that.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. Because when you look at Indians, you look at Turkish, they do that. They speak, they do the same thing. They come from a different country as well, and they still teach their children how to appreciate and live and speak their language. Because there's certain parents that they've been here for way before their kids were born. And they still don't speak their language, and there's the kids that grow up and interpret for their parents. Okay?
I feel like I have some pros and cons with this.
All right, go ahead.
Because my pros for this would be, okay, good. Like, if we were all raised like that, would all know our culture, would all be in our like, we would know just more.
Yes.
But the con to it is that if every single person was to learn about their culture fully, have you ever felt that like the Indians and the Asian, like just the Asians and then the Africans and the British are always separated because they're heavily indulged in their culture, so they haven't fully assimilated. So it feels like they're almost living in a bubble. It's like the Jews, because they are heavily in their culture, they're almost living in a bubble. So I feel like if we heavily induced our culture, every single person will be living in a bubble. So I feel like the solution isn't to like, obviously you could heavily indulge your kids, but I feel like if you're going to do that, then you have to also come to a point where you need to realize that we're actually in a different country and we need to take on their roles and their culture, because it's like somebody coming to Ghana and then trying to change certain things. It's not going to work, because this is how our countries run. It's either you assimilate or you go back to wherever you came from, which is kind of a hard like part to play, considering that my parents came from a different country. But I do feel like with heavily inducing your children in a culture, you need to make sure that they like know and appreciate where else they are, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, but you know the reason why I think I go back to is you and I have had this discussion. Your sister is getting married, yeah? And we're talking about traditional marriage. And you were thinking that it wasn't necessary. And you just felt, what was the big deal? And I feel if you understood the basis of why our tradition was so necessary, you wouldn't have actually felt that, oh, I don't think it's a big deal. Do you understand me? So with me, on that aspect, I feel that we have deprived you guys of understanding, because with every culture or every tribe we've got different traditions because we've got the Akans, we've got the Fantis, we've got the Gans. You understand what I'm saying? And the Northerners, do you understand me? And it's only even recently that I actually found out that the Northerners had their own Kente. I never knew that because the only Kente that I knew was Ashanti Kente. Do you understand me? But now, when we discuss about our heritage and our culture and Black History Month, don't you feel that knowing who you are and where you come from empowers you to appreciate? Because we're not saying that live in a bubble. We're saying that because of you knowing where you come from actually empowers you.
Yeah, it does give us a sense of identity, and it does make our community one. If we all walked with the same morals and we all learnt this culture and we all did it this way, then I feel like we would be more able to uplift each other because we would be in our area.
I think that sounds fantastic, but no, that ain't gonna happen.
But that's what I'm saying. That like that's not really realistic.
No,
that's
it isn't. That's
kind of utopia. So
it is an utopia. Yes.
So to be honest, that's why I think that it's very hard to fully, like, you can't fully indulge two cultures. It always has to be 50-50.
So we're not doing the fully stuff. We're doing the half and half.
Yeah, that's what
whereby you merge it.
Yeah, because it's impossible to adapt both fully. I have to split 50-50 or just go one way.
Okay. No, with me, mine is about
60-40, yeah.
Okay, so what do you find fascinating about the African culture, especially the Ghanaian culture?
That's kind of a hard question. Because, like, now I have to nitpick at our culture.
Yeah, you can. Because at the end of the day, you have to take what you feel fascinates you. It could be the food, the clothes, the language, the people.
Do you know what? Let's keep on the topic of, like, weddings. And
all right, fair enough.
The traditional weddings.
Okay.
I just don't like... I remember having a conversation with you, and I said how I don't think it was imperative to have... the traditional wedding because we grew, we're here, we're in London, British wedding, signed, legally married, it's fine.
Yes.
And then you said that it's in the eyes of our culture.
Yes.
It's not like you're married, but I don't get that.
I didn't say it's not. It doesn't look as if you're married. I was saying that you're bringing two families together, and when you bring two families together, when something happens. It's not, in the Western world, when you get married, you get upset, everybody goes their different way. But with the family comes and sits down because you're bringing another family in. So the couple are not on their own. So it's you've got a support network. And that is what the traditional marriage is about.
But realistically, if I was to get a divorce now, God forbid.
Which you're not even going out with anybody. You don't even have a boyfriend. So
exactly.
That's the thing. Okay, keep going. Yes, I know. Keep going. Yes.
So if I was to get divorced
No,
now...
you won't.
Now see, now I forgot what I was saying. But if I was to get divorced now, like I'm not gonna like sit down with my parents and his parents.
Oh no. You see what you forget. I mean? No, divorce doesn't just happen in a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are little things that happens. So sometimes the family is a support network, so whereby there's certain things. Yes.
Now that's not going to happen.
It is going to happen. It's because it doesn't. You see, it's because that has been left on the back burner. Okay. So now, let's say that something happens. Yes. Just imagine you have a fight with your dad. Who gets involved? Isn't it your mom? Or your brothers or your sisters? That is a support network. Do you understand? Because there could be that something has happened that I may be able to talk to you, or your mom may be able to talk to you. Do you understand? And talk to the other person. And that is what the cultural aspect is. You see? And that is what is missing. Because I remember when we were younger, my mom would say that when something happened, they used to go to their uncles. And you understand what I'm saying? And that is the network. And that's why I keep saying that. Sometimes I feel as parents, we have deprived you of appreciating. You see? Because now, when your sister, it's kind of like when your sister now going into it now, you look at the colors, you're looking at the tradition, you're doing two different things, but now you're going to do two different aspects of it because you're going to wear a white dress. But with this, there's going to be colorful, it's going to be like a rainbow. Yeah, we're not a rainbow. But anyway, at the end of the day, but you know what I mean? You see? So that is the reason why sometimes I feel that what could we have done better for you guys? to appreciate your culture? What could we have done as parents?
Just in our everyday lives, just tell us something about our culture or show us something.
And take it to Ghana, not take it to just your aunties.
Yeah, take us to Ghana.
Take us
involve
to,
us
yes.
in the culture. Or
Okay.
show us something that you would do. Like, I feel like also speaking to us, just the little things, but also taking us back home. But that's very expensive.
But taking us back home and not taking you to your aunties, but taking you to the country and seeing other sites would have actually
helped her.
Yes, instead of
even if it was talked more about. I feel like our parents don't talk enough about Ghana.
Oh,
like
okay.
when they come over, like they don't talk about.
Oh, my mom did. My mom did, because we're first generation. My
yeah,
mom
but
did.
That's different. You get what I mean?
Yeah, my mom did. She would talk about Gold Coast. She would talk about how, you know, all those stuff. So I think
but I feel like that kind of stopped at a certain age. Like we only got taught the history, the nice history of Ghana, and then we'd go to school and get taught the bad history of Ghana. But then we'd never just hear about actual Ghana or see it, or even if it's pictures, videos of Ghana showing us that this is how the country is. Because it was all nice hearing it from our parents, but then we go home and then
you go to school,
look in the textbook and there's pictures.
And they're saying derelict places.
But our parents haven't shown us any pictures, so we're just thinking, no, school is teaching us.
So we don't know what we're telling you.
Do you know what I mean? Even though you guys came from there.
Yes. Okay, so that means, so that is what we can do better. Okay. So do you think to appreciate and understand the Ghanaian culture, we have to do more?
Yeah.
So how would we go about doing that? And the reason I'm asking you that is like, because you are going to be the next generation with your kids. How would you do it differently from us?
We're kind of diluted, so that's a bit hard. How would we do it differently? So speak to our kids about Ghana more, let them know that it's actually cool to be Ghanaian and it's okay to be black as well. I would definitely teach them more on matters that are happening currently or have happened. I will show them, even if it means me, myself, I can't speak and I have to get them a tutor to speak, like.
Because you've got loads of you.
But then I've got people around me
Yes.
who can teach. So I feel like it's just the little things, making sure that they remember that being black and their culture is part of them every day. And they have to walk with it every day because we literally wear it with our skins. So I think I'll just talk about our culture way more, educate them, actually take the time to sit down and teach them.
So instead of them relying on the education system, you would actually find a different way. So you show them more pictures.
Yeah, because the education system can only feed you so much history. And the history that they're going to feed you is the history that stands out the most. And unfortunately, that's not all roses and all the things that we've done good because they don't care about that. That's
like
not,
the inventions,
that's not part of their history, because you need to remember that wherever you are in this earth, the history that they're teaching you is based off of their history in the country alone, and they're going to teach you of how other histories affected them, and that's about it. So yeah.
Okay, I was talking to my cousin yesterday, and she was telling me that even African people or Ghanaian people don't even appreciate slave trade. That when you talk about it, especially in Ghana, they just don't see the big deal. Do you feel that actually impacts on when people come here, how they see our culture? Because the reason why I say that is when I was talking to my cousin, I was saying that the slave trade, and she goes, well, in Ghana, they don't even care about those stuff. Yeah, so I'm saying that, do you think that sometimes when people leave Ghana and they come here,
it affects them 100%?
Yes, because
I feel like the fact that you don't acknowledge how deep the slave trade is doesn't allow you to understand what kind of country you're actually moving into. You need to remember that we are a minority and we are able to stick out like a sore thumb. And I feel like not knowing about the history of how we were enslaved and what was done to us, they can't fully understand where they're moving to. And then I feel like, because I don't know how to explain it, but
you see, the thing is, you see, being proud and knowing who you are sometimes is taken from you because it makes you feel as though, as you say, they've actually made it seem so derogatory that when you're looking at it, you're feeling, oh, why should I sort of like talk about something that I'm not proud of?
And I feel like the fact that they don't care about it enough is also an indication as to why we are still at the bottom of the pyramid in like development.
Precisely.
Because they don't understand that we are currently being suppressed and we have always been suppressed. So in order for us to get from under out of that suppression, we actually have to come together. But if you do not care about what has happened to those in the past, how can you care about those who are living among you now? So how can we gather as a community and develop if we are all living for ourselves? Because in order for you to stand there and say, I do not care about the slave trade, as a black person, currently living in a predominantly white country, then I don't understand how you expect our race to develop and become the greater race. So I feel like in order to be able for us to move forward and progress, it needs to be taught more. And I don't blame them at all as well, because the system in certain countries aren't beneficial. Like everything is like a pyramid scheme. So even though they're trying to come out from under it, somebody like, oh, this country will probably give a leader of, I don't know, Morocco this amount, and they'll stop giving them this certain supplies. And I feel like it's just very small-minded. And unless we develop from that, then we're always going to be stuck in that enslavement, which they don't care about, but they haven't realized that we're still there. We're not.
Which is true, because now the slavery is more mental than it is physical.
Than it is physical. It's no longer a thing where
they're putting you on the boat. It's like now you're actually paying to come here to do menial jobs.
Yeah, we're being strained through jobs,
exactly,
through food, through all different sorts of
economic aspects. Yes.
So I feel like we need to really educate ourselves on Black history as well, because I do understand that loads of people will say, oh, they don't teach enough Black histories in school. But what are you doing to make sure that you know about your Black history?
Exactly.
How many things have you
How many kids do you inspire? What do you tell your children? What do you tell your family? How do you talk when you go out? How do you let people see you? Because I remember my mom, as you always say, my mom was somebody that she was so proud of her culture. And as you say, it seems to have stopped.
It's simply because I feel like we just don't care about the bigger picture anymore. I feel like everybody's almost tired.
And we're greedy and we're selfish and we don't help each other. Because I was telling the producer today that we did a Black History Month on Saturday, and people didn't come. And I realized, that if it was a funeral, if it was something like a party, it was something, people would have turned up. That's the point. And I feel that when we sit back and we say, oh, we are proud of our culture, how can we be proud of our culture when even when we do events, they're supposed to actually show the beauty when it comes to food, when it comes to our clothes, when it comes to, because when we're
the same people that want to scream.
Exactly.
They're racist. We can't do anything.
Yes.
Well, we haven't actually bonded fully yet as a
We don't even like each other. Anyway, most of the time I don't like most of them anyway. But
so, I feel like we're all just.
I'm supposed to lie, innit? Oh no, no. Oh sorry. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying that the way we treat each other, it makes it very, very difficult for us to support each other. You see, because when you look at, and the thing is, it's actually filtered into your generation as well, whereby
I feel like my generation are more like
tolerant.
Yeah, because I feel like my generation, like I remember the other day I was talking to somebody, and they were talking about like, oh, getting this discount, and oh, why can't she do this for this much, or like why can't she do this? I feel like with the older generation, you're less willing to pay or do certain stuff for something that you want. Whereas I feel like my generation...
Oh, we don't do something for what we want. We want to take from somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I feel like my generation, for example, if I did lashes and my friend wanted her lashes done, she's fully she's fully fine with paying me the full amount that is on my website, because she knows that when I pay her, she's growing, she's developing. That's fine. I'm paying for good service, so I don't mind. I feel like my to go to do what is needed to be done
100%.
in order to get what we want. We're
100%.
not, if we know that, for example, this trainer is 500, we're not gonna try then like negotiate. We realize somebody took their time to make this shoe. This is the price of the shoe, so we're gonna go and buy this shoe because we want it. If you
and because it's your friend that is even doing it,
do you get what I mean?
You would rather spend that money with your friend. But that is different from our with us. They're feeling that, why should I help this person grow? Why should I make this person rich? So what they do is they'll end up going to go and buy somewhere. And then you'd end up, your business will just go down the drain. Literally. So I'm really glad that you're saying this, because I know.
That's why I feel like is the difference between the generations. So I feel like there is hope. Because
from your generation,
there's a little bit of hope somewhere.
Like. No. But as you're saying it, there is sort of like, there is hope comparatively to us. You see, which is sad, because sometimes when we talk about our children, our families. Now, this is the first time I've actually heard that your friends will actually pay the full price. With us, we're trying to get a bargain. We're even trying to cut into your profits, whereby you don't even make a penny from it. You see. So what can you guys teach us?
If you want something, I'm joking. What can we teach you? I feel like it's kind of weird because we've just seen what we didn't want.
Yes.
And we just took from it.
Okay, so you've looked at us and you said,
yes. We just said no, like
this is no.
that like, because I feel like a lot of people in my gen and lower are like really self-developing. So in the fact where they're looking to do things on their own, have their own business, like grow economically, make a difference. So I feel like all those stuff, and considering what has been happening, and because a lot of stuff happened to our year, especially the black children, we understand that we actually need to be greater and bigger, and we need to think smarter. And in order to do that, it's only right that we all pay each other equally for our services, so we all can develop.
Then it sounds like you don't need us then. But it does seem that, but that is, something, it is really, really fascinating hearing this, because when you say this, then it gives us this sense that whatever we have done, you guys are watching us and you're taking out of it. So now, that's what I keep saying that. So what can you guys teach us, the parents? Well, because now we're still alive, though, and some of us still want to do business. So what can you tell us? And what can you...
Just be more open-minded. Don't be so quick.
When I say don't be so quick?
Like in anything. Like, take your time. Like, if you want something... and you know it's going to take this long to get it, take that time to do it. Don't get frustrated. Don't try to speed it up. Just slow down, and it'll eventually come. I feel like we're more patient.
You are?
Well, I am.
Okay. You see, because
in that sense.
Oh, okay.
Or just like less, like I feel like less self-doubt as well. I feel like
you're confident.
Yeah, I feel like loads of our parents have more doubt in themselves. Whereas we're pretty confident with what we know, even if we don't know, we'll act like we know what we're doing. Whereas I feel like because our parents have done the hard work, they've come,
Well, I'm not part of it, but
they've come, they've settled down, they've raised us. I feel like once that happens, you kind of like let go of your own self, and you've more devoted your life to your child. So I feel like you need to just not doubt yourself so that you can do what needs to be done.
When you say not doubt yourself, in what aspect?
If you want
to start a business.
If you want to start something, or even doubt yourself in saying something, or speaking somewhere, or accepting a new job, or moving here. Like, I feel like just less doubt and just go for it. Because that's what we do. We just go for it.
Because one thing I've realized is you guys, you multitask. You do lashes, you do hair, you do... What pushes you guys to do that?
Money.
It's just money.
Money is freedom. So with money, you can do what you want. You can also help out you can put money where you want to put your money. So for example, like if you want to help develop something that's been in your head, or you've had an idea that will take our, community to the next level.
Precisely.
Being able to invest back into our community, I feel like it's all those things, and we just like to do. I feel like we get bored easily as well, so we just need to do loads of things at once and keep our mind engaged. So yeah.
I know you started uni this year because you stayed back because you were not too happy with the COVID education. Going back, what difference have you seen in terms of education?
Like with myself or like with others?
With
both.
Everything. Like when you look at it.
With myself,
yes,
I would say like I'm more on it. Like I'm more ready to just wake. If I need to wake up, I'll wake up. Like I'm not slacking, like going in late and stuff like that. So like, I feel like that's a difference that I've had. I want to be more on it. Like I'm a bit chilled right now, but I want to be more on it and more persistent and consistent with whatever I'm doing. And as a whole, in school, going into lectures, a lot of people still have online, so they're not coming in for their lectures. But people like me who have in class lectures. See, there's more students walking around. There's more of a bubbly vibe passing through my year. Still a lot of stress because I feel like it's hitting everyone really quick because we just came out of lockdown and everyone's gone straight back into school. So I would say that the difference from last year, I'd say, is just more support with the unis as well. Well, with my uni. And yeah. I would say.
So every day you wake up and you look at, because from 2020 to now, we've had massive losses, we have massive change. What are the things that you take from what transpired during the COVID time?
You have to live now. Like, you can't really care about what everybody wants you to do or which direction everybody wants you to go in or how they want you to walk, dress, live. Like, you can't care because life is very fragile, very, very short, and it can literally leave you in the blink of an eye. So you literally have to live in what you want to do.
So you have to live in the now, and appreciate the now.
Yeah. So whatever you want to do,
you have to do now.
Or even if you don't want to do anything and you just want to focus on a certain thing or a certain area, I say go fully for it. Like, obviously you have like a backup plan, but like sometimes for some
just
people,
go for it.
You just need to go for it because at the end of the day, that's what gets people there, is the fact that they don't have anything to fall on, so they need to get it. So I would say, looking back at where I was, I would say that I'm living more within the now and what I want to do. And even though people may tell you, do this, do that, sometimes you just got to cover your ears and do what you want to do, because only you know like what's going to make you happy at the end of the day. So
now we want to thank you, Bella. Thank you so much for coming today. I want to thank Omega Live TV for giving us this opportunity. I know that I've been away for a very long time, and God willing, I'll continue and be coming down. But thank you, producer. Thank you, Sedanswa. And good night, everyone. And please share. And thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.